guys are again hope you guys are having a good week and everything is working well for you. Um, I have some fun stuff to do today. It's always cool when you find some really new fun stuff, that's interesting um, and so it's always fun to experiment and play around and figure out how those work and what they are. So, and I did find a couple of new tools this week that I wanted to share with you. So, we're going to do that right now. There's the two things that I found. Number one is Facebook Messenger now has a very simple plugin that you can add um, and build a live chat on your website. So you can integrate your Facebook Messenger chat into your website. And I'll show you what that looks like just in a moment. And then the other thing that I have is I was looking for a video editor because I'm doing a series of marketing messages for an escrow company, Pioneer Title. But I wanted to brand them. I'm going to do them for Instagram stories, but I wanted to brand them so that I had my logo on there, and I also had the Pioneer Title logo on there. But you can't do that. You can't pre-record in Instagram stories. You have to just kind of do it and let it post and use their editor tools, and it goes live. But so I found a way to do that. So I'm going to share that with you as well. So let's get started. Let me share screens. So the first thing is we're going to talk about the Facebook chat function. And let me actually just pull my other screen over here just for a moment and show you. So this is my website. You'll notice down here in the lower corner, there's the little messenger, the chat messenger icon. And so what happens is when you click that, you open a chat box and it gives you whatever happens to be in the chat or whatever the message that you want to apply. Somebody can message me from here and I can answer them back. So it creates a way to communicate directly with individuals, and it's a really cool program. So we'll talk about how you do that here and some of the advantages of doing it. First of all, it integrates directly into your website. It took me probably 10 minutes total to set that up on my website. It's a plugin for WordPress. There are other ways to integrate. It'll integrate with Squarespace and Wix and some other sites like that. So there are other options. If you're using one of those, then obviously that's a way to go. But it works really, really simple with with WordPress. It allows customers to interact with you anytime. And it gives you the same personalized, rich media experience that you get from Messenger. So that's one of the great aspects of it. It's almost instantaneous communication. It automatically loads chat history. So if you'll notice here, there's some messages. There were some messages rather when I had that page over here from February and January and things like that, where I just communicated with Messenger through my 800 Biz Ninja marketing page. It automates some FAQs, which we'll talk about. You can even accept Messenger payments. So if you use Messenger to take payments, you can do that through the chat. But the biggest thing is a great conversation starter. The chat aspect, the chat bot on your Facebook page is ultimately geared towards starting that conversation, that one-on-one engagement with your potential client or existing client, if that as well. But it creates a great conversation starter. So how do you install it? Well, you simply, on the WordPress sites, you simply install the official Facebook chat plugin. You'll tie it into you'll put in the the address of your page, and I don't know. I think there's the ID number for the page, and then it connects right up. As long have your Facebook page open in the same browser, and that makes it really easy because then it automatically finds it within the same browser. Now, if you're using, if you have like me, sometimes I do a lot of my work on my website within Google Chrome, but um, I'll do Facebook on um, Firefox. Well, in this particular case, I always open them in the same window so I have so it makes it a lot easier. They find each other and talk back and forth and authenticate right off the bat. It does have other platforms that it will integrate with, and you may have to, if you're using a Squarespace or a Wix or a Weebly, you may have to embed some code in there. But again, they're pretty simple to work with. So you can just do a search for official Facebook chat plugin, and it will give you our chat app, and it will tell you how to integrate with your different websites if you're using something besides WordPress. Again, here's the view of the page that I showed you. The contact button down at the bottom. Once you click that, it's going to ask you, do you want to chat do you want to chat as an individual? If you're logged in, it'll know who you're chatting with, or as a guest. So it's going to recognize, if you're logged in, it's going to give you the opportunity to chat as you personally. So again, really simple. You just choose that. Then the next thing that happens is it automatically delivers your auto responses. And if you guys aren't using the automated responses or have these set up, then you're missing a really powerful opportunity, because these are, again, they're great conversation starters, but they really get people to engage with you. So if you'll look at mine, if you can see them here, I have 4 questions that I pose to somebody, and they can choose the answer, and the answer they get depends on which box they click. So for example, it says, what services do you offer? Another box is, do you help with existing websites or just build new? I have questions about my social media sites. I'm interested. Can you tell me more? What you're trying to do is pick out topics that let them know what you do, and then get them to engage with you. So when they click on any of those topics, oops, let me back up here. So when they click on any of those, they get an automatic response back. So if you guys haven't used that, let me show you how to set those up, because it's really important. And I do this for realtors a lot. I do this for most businesses when I try to set up their Facebook pages. That this is one of those places where you really ought to take some time and think about, what are the questions you want people to ask you that you can engage with. So to get to it, you go onto your business page. You go to your inbox. It'll be on the left side. It'll be down the left side. You go to inbox, and then all the way at the bottom of inbox, you'll see automated responses. When you click that, then this is what comes up. So this is the next screen on that. So it's going to have several automated responses. So you can do a greet customer, an away message, an instant reply. But what I use is the frequently asked questions. This is the one I like. Now there's others, and the questions for potential customers is also good. I don't use it because as much. It's relatively new. It was just added within the last few months. So some of these are new. You can also do a response if somebody recommends your page. You can create an auto response for that. And about location and contact information. So those are some things you do, but I use the frequently asked questions, and that's what we're going to be talking about here. So when you click on frequently asked questions, it takes you to this page and tells you if it's not turned on, you would turn it on up here. A little toggle switch turns it on. And then it's going to have some pre-built questions done for you based on your industry. They're usually not very good. So this is where you want to take some time and change it. So you click the edit button in the middle here, the blue edit button. And at that point, then it brings up your questions. You have 4 questions that are going to be displayed. You can put in more But if you put more, it's only going to show 4, and it's going to randomly rotate through, the 4, the questions if you have more than 4. To me, I just want to use 4 questions, because with 4 questions, what if what if the 5th question that I ask is eliminates and they're interested in social media and it's about web design, so it doesn't show the social media, then they don't know that I do that. So I'm really cautious about how, which I give it a lot of thought about what I'm going to say and what questions I use. So basically, you want to ask questions that make sure you're leading the visitor to the things you want them to know about your website, okay, about your business. So the first one I use here is, what services do you offer? So if they click what services do you offer, you'll see over here the automated response. And I do use personalization, so I personalize it with their first name. You can personalize first and last, but to me, if you use first and last, that's not very personal. So I typically use just first name. So the response they get, as soon as they click that question and ask that question, it says, we help you get found online. We do that with a balanced approach of website design, search engine optimization, social media marketing, coaching, and training. Those of you guys that are in network groups with me, have you ever heard that before? Well, there you go. That's my tag. All of you have heard that before, I know. So that is, so that's the response they get back. Now I can also add an attachment. So if I wanted to send them something that, a one sheet or a synopsis of my business, or something, rack card that I created that's an online or digital, something of that nature, I could do that too. I could add that as an attachment. It would show up down below. In my case, I use more a button. So I have a button that says more information. And then if they click that, it takes them to my website. So I can direct them from here to my website. So now I'm driving traffic. So we look at the second question. Do you help with existing websites or just build new sites? Okay. So when they click that, they get another response that says, yes, I work with new and existing websites, and I can help you, whatever it is it may be. And again, I direct them to a particular page in my site that talks about what I do there. I have questions about my social media. Great. The response is, great. So what can we do to help you with your social media needs? Or do you need coaching and training? And again, the button takes them to a page on social media. So this is what you can use for conversation starters. And imagine, I mean, you get somebody that clicks a link, they find you somehow or other in your Facebook page, they find you, they click on the question, and you send them back a personalized message instantly. You send them an attachment that explains more. You give them a button that directs them to your website. You've done everything you can possibly do but pick up the phone and call them. And if you can get their phone number, then that's the next best thing. So it's a really cool, powerful tool. And by adding this into the chat or onto your website, now your website becomes interactive, and it becomes more than just a static page. So the responses ask questions to start conversations. You auto respond with a question, with the answer to your question. You can add a button, as we talked about. You can attach more information to the response. So those are some of the things that it does. So it's really, like I said, it's a cool little tool. And if you're not using it, it's live in real time. And if you've got any of you that might have where you can pull up either my website or pull up my Facebook page, you can send a response. I'll pull this over and show you if you get a chance. So because I have it open on the other screen. So it can be instituted from just going to my website and starting a conversation, or it can be instituted by going to from Facebook. Either way. All right, so that's the Facebook chat plugin. The other thing that is really cool is InShot Video. This is an app that I use for to be able to create cool little videos, primarily for Facebook. I mean, for Instagram stories. It also work for Facebook stories as well. But again, I found this sort of out of necessity because I wanted to be able to, in essence, I wanted to be able to create the content for my Facebook stories and Instagram stories in advance. Now, the idea for stories is it's kind of what's happening today and what am I doing right now. So they're not geared to create in advance. But like I said, I'm managing the social media for a uh, escrow company, and so I don't want to be in the moment creating something that I might need to run by them or get their okay on first. Right. So what I want to do is create these stories, because stories have the highest visibility. Stories are unfiltered. They have, and we've talked about that in webinars past. If you've seen those webinars, I talk about how stories are the prominent placement on the page and the things that it can do. So, but I want to be able to do that and have them pre-done. But the problem is, if I do them on my desktop, then I'm typically going to do them in a horizontal format, not vertical, which is what Instagram stories, Facebook stories want. They want vertical video. So to find a way to do that, I found InShot. And so really it's an Android or an app for Android or iOS. So it works either on iPhones or any Android phone. You simply install the plugin, and this is the free version. There are paid versions that'll give you extra whistles and bells, but I'm using the free version. Lets you create the story and save it for later posts. So once I create it, now I save it, because you can't save an Instagram story. Once you can do the video, you can get into Instagram, you can add the filters and and all the cool effects and all those things that we can do here with stickers, but you can't save it. If you leave it and don't post it, it's gone. You have to start over. Now, the video will still be there if you're working with the video, but you still have to add the effects. So with this, all I have to do is create it. And then once I save it and I'm ready to go Instagram stories, I simply load it into stories. And in 5 seconds, the story's live. You can add branding and special effects. And that's really what I was trying to do, was the branding. That's what I wanted it for, was the branding side of things. And then you can keep the vertical perspective. So that's really what we're trying to do. So this is a little video here. I think it should play okay. It doesn't want to have any sound. It won't have, or it may have a little background noise, but it shouldn't have anything, because I just recorded sort of going through the process of creating an InShot video. So it starts by something like this. You're seeing the, let's see here. I'm going to turn the audio down on that. So the next thing you do, oops, let me just go back here. Let's back up. All right. This is the home screen. So as you click on the home screen, you're going to choose whether you want to do a video, whether you're going to do a photo, or whether you're going to do a collage. This particular case, I was doing a video. So once you choose the video, it's going to open up and take me to the video that I'm going to use. So I pull this up. I just recorded it off my tablet so I would have it. You click on the sticker. This is clicking on the stickers button, but then I wanted to get my logo in there. And again, this is roughly done, and this is not put together by any means. I won't use this, but I just wanted to put together something quickly so you could see how easy it is to do this. I had the logo already saved in my computer, or in my tablet, so that I could go and do it. I'm just simply dragging that around with my finger. You squeeze and open the the image to put it to where you want it to go, drag and drop. Once you have the image placed where you want it, then you will come down here to the timeline on that, and you'll put it in the perspective. So you'll see down here at the bottom now, here's the timeline of the video. Well, all I'm doing is dragging the end line out to where I want that element at the top to stop displaying. And in this case, I want it to display through the whole video. So I'm just going to drag it till I get to the end of the video and drop it there. Now it plays and stays in that spot through the whole video. So again, just a drag with your fingers and in there, and it opens that up. The next thing I want to do was I wanted to create some text on here. So I click on the text box. There's a text icon down there, and then you can just simply type it in. Obviously, there's the keyboard. You type the text that you want to put in here. Once you get it in, you can squeeze it down so it'll automatically size down once you have it. Once you have the text in there, and so you can change colors, you can change fonts. You've got a lot of options on fonts. You've got color options, you've got placement options. So in some cases, some of the fonts are premium. They're only available for a premium membership, but again, you can find plenty to do without having to go premium on it. So we'll finish this up here. The reason I did this in video rather than doing it live, because again, I did this off my tablet, so otherwise I would have had to try to broadcast and cast my tablet in, and it was much easier to record and go this route. Okay, so I've got my text in there. Now I just simply grab by the corners and squeeze it to fit where I want. You're just pinching your fingers together to put it, where you want it to go. And then the next thing I'm going to do is, once I've got it positioned, the next thing I'm going to do is I want to, you'll see my icon still at the top. Now, I didn't change the length of this out because I didn't, but I can choose stickers. So there are all kinds of stickers down here that you can choose from, put something in there. These are, some of these are premium stickers. Let's see here. I'll go back. I think these are all premium, so I'll end up going back to the regular ones. Yep, there's different emoji ones. You can play with some of these. And so I think some of these are available. So you simply, pick the sticker you want. Back up, find the right one here. So I went with just a plain, under the emoji section here. I just picked one that would work. So I'm was looking for one that would work. So I think I'll finally end up here on the pointing finger in a minute. And thought about that, and then I decided, no, that didn't work. So after I plugged it in, I just clicked the X, and I said, no, I don't like that one. And just X out of it. You can change the coloring and things of that nature. So choose this one, drag it down where I want it to go. Okay, it's too big, so size it down, size my, and you see down here now the timeline has popped up again to let me drag this out for how long I want these elements to stay on the screen. So all I would need to do would be stretch that out if I want those to go throughout the whole video, or if I want them to start later in the video, I put my cursor where I want that element to go, and then I plug it in there and say how long it stays on there. So it's again, pretty simple process. Once you're done, you just simply save it, and you simply save it, and you decide the size of it. If you want it 1080p, that's usually what I use. It gives me a higher resolution quality. It wants to sell me some extra space here. So, and that's it. Now it's converting the video. So that's pretty much the way it works. Once I convert it, then it's stored on my tablet, or I actually pulled it off to my desktop as well. But once it's stored, then I can use it wherever I want, whenever I need to. So really cool and easy. You saw that. I mean, that was really, other than recording the video, which took me which was another minute or two. It took me 5 to 6 minutes to create that video. Now, right, it wasn't clean and crisp and should have been, a lot more features and things like that to it. But for purposes of, maybe 10, 15 minutes, you can have a nice branded video, especially have the branding elements where you want them and the way you want them sized. Some of the other features that InShot offers you, you can speed up videos, you can trim clips and stitch together clips. So if you want to take out the spaces at the beginning or the end, if you're using your phone and and now it shows you reaching to, touch the start and stop button, and, you got a little awkward beginning and ending, you can always edit those out. So it's a little more clean. There are transitions between clips. So if you've added multiple clips together, you can create a fade type of transition between the two, so that now you've, again, more professional looking video. You can add music. They've got stock music. They've got all kinds of effects. And then they've got all the stickers. So again, a lot of these things are available in Instagram itself, but you can't create it first and save it later. So that's why, this gives me that opportunity. So InShot, it's a really cool little program. I think I really like it. I know I'll be using it pretty regularly because, again, for the branding element of, I hate to have just a plain video of me talking without something added to it. And if I can think the process out in advance, I'll be a lot more happy with the result. So hope that was interesting. Hope you find those useful. If you have any questions, as always, reach out to me. You guys got my phone number. You got my contact information. So let me know if I can help you with anything. And unless anybody has any questions, then just pop those in the chat if you do. And if not, I don't see any questions. So hope you guys have a good rest of your week. Have a great weekend, and stay safe. We will see you next week.